The stars had always belonged to computers. For nearly 400 years, every coalition vessel crossed the galaxy the same way. Quantum navigation cores calculated millions of gravitational variables every second, predicting safe routes through pulsars, black holes, and unstable wormholes with flawless precision. No captain questioned the system. No navigator questioned the system. Why would they? It had never failed until it did. The exploration carrier Resolute Dawn drifted helplessly inside the Vesper Rift, one of the most dangerous regions of known space. A violent quantum storm had erupted without warning. Blue arcs of energy danced across the void, twisting gravity into impossible shapes. Every digital display on the bridge flashed the same message. The ship's artificial intelligence rebooted itself for the 8th time in 6 minutes. Nothing changed. Captain Sorek's 4 eyes remained fixed on the dead holographic star map. Status: the bridge became painfully quiet. Our quantum positioning is gone. Our beacon network cannot penetrate the storm. The inertial scanners disagree with one another. We no longer know where we are. For the first time in coalition history, 3,000 souls aboard one ship were lost. Not because the engines failed, not because they were damaged, because nobody knew which direction was safe. Lieutenant Ethan Walker sat quietly near the rear navigation station. He was the only human aboard. Officially, he was an exchange officer. Unofficially, most of the crew thought humans specialized in outdated habits. They still wrote things by hand. They still carried notebooks. They still learned skills without relying entirely on computers. Alien officers often joked that humans prepared for disasters that modern technology had already solved centuries ago. Ethan never argued. He listened. The captain looked around the bridge. Suggestions? Silence. Then the chief navigator spoke carefully. If we activate the engines without accurate positioning, he hesitated. We could fly directly into a gravity shear. Another officer added, or into the event horizon of one of the rift's hidden singularities. Another whispered, we wait. Captain Sorek stared at him. Wait for what? Nobody answered. Ethan slowly stood. I have an idea. Several heads turned. The captain nodded. Proceed. Instead of walking toward the quantum navigation console, Ethan walked toward his locker. He opened it. Inside was a leather tube. Several officers exchanged confused glances. He removed a stack of folded papers. Actual paper. One young communications officer blinked. Are those records? Ethan smiled. Maps. Someone actually laughed. Paper maps. In the middle of an interstellar emergency. The bridge suddenly felt less hopeful. Captain Sorek frowned. Our navigation computers cannot determine our location. You believe paper can? Ethan carefully spread the charts across the navigation table. No, I believe observation can. He dimmed every light on the bridge. Outside, the quantum storm illuminated space with shifting ribbons of violet light. Most officers ignored them. Ethan didn't. He watched. For nearly 5 minutes. He noticed something strange. The lightning wasn't random. It bent, repeatedly, around invisible masses. His fingers slowly traced the patterns across the paper chart. There, the chief navigator frowned. There where? The storm is revealing the gravity wells. Silence. What? Ethan pointed again. Light bends differently around massive objects. The storm isn't hiding the stars. It's outlining everything we can't see. The bridge remained silent. Nobody had programmed the computers to interpret the storm that way. Why would they? The sensors had always been enough. Ethan requested visual telescopes. Not scanners. Not radar. Optical telescopes. Ancient technology. Captain Sorek hesitated only a second. Granted, gigantic observation lenses rotated. Images flooded onto the bridge. Not processed. Not enhanced. Simply seen. Ethan smiled. There you are. He recognized 3 unusually bright stars. Not by database. By geometry. Their relative angles formed an unmistakable triangle. He quickly measured distances using a simple brass compass he kept inside the map tube. The alien officer stared. What is he doing? The captain quietly asked. Lieutenant, Ethan answered without looking up. Triangulation. The word meant nothing to most of the bridge. Within minutes, he placed one finger on the map. We're here. The chief navigator objected instantly. Impossible. Our computers couldn't solve it. Ethan nodded. They were trying to calculate everything. I only needed 3 reference points. The bridge became quiet again. Not because they believed him, because nobody could immediately prove him wrong. Captain Sorek made his decision. Helm, follow Lieutenant Walker's course. Several officers froze. One finally asked, based on paper? The captain looked at Ethan. No, based on confidence. The engines ignited. Slowly, carefully, the massive carrier began turning. Every minute felt like an hour. Bridge personnel watched gravity monitors with growing anxiety. Nothing happened. 5 minutes. 10. 15. Then, the storm weakened. One by one, navigation satellites came back online. The quantum computers restarted. This time, they worked. Light. Perspective. Principles older than spaceflight itself. A month later, the Coalition Academy announced a new mandatory course. Manual Stellar Navigation. Every cadet would learn how civilizations once crossed oceans, then planets, then stars, without artificial intelligence. The course material contained diagrams copied from centuries-old Earth navigation manuals. Sextants, angle measurements, star triangles, paper plotting techniques. Many cadets initially questioned why they should study methods thousands of years old, until instructors showed them one recording. The bridge of the Resolute Dawn. 3,000 lives, saved by a human holding folded paper instead of trusting broken computers. The bridge AI announced. Position confirmed. Coordinates appeared. Silence followed. The chief navigator stared, then looked at Ethan's map, then back at the computer. The 2 locations differed by less than 40 kilometers, across an unexplored region nearly 200 light-years wide. The room froze. Captain Sorek finally spoke. Verification. The AI responded. Human estimate accuracy. A pause. 99.98%. Nobody laughed anymore. After reaching Coalition space, the Navigation Council launched a formal investigation. Their conclusion surprised everyone. The computers had not malfunctioned. They had obeyed their programming perfectly. Their programming assumed reliable sensor input. The storm had corrupted every sensor simultaneously. Since every piece of data was wrong, every calculation was also wrong. Ethan had ignored the corrupted data entirely. Instead, he trusted direct observation. Geometry. Years later, a rookie cadet asked an instructor, "Will we ever actually need this?" The instructor smiled. "Probably not." He paused before adding, "But that's exactly what everyone believed the day before they did." Humanity never claimed that old ways were better than new ones. Only that, a tool forgotten, is sometimes the one that saves the future.